on the back foot today, but I'm here and we're ready to rock and roll. So just bear with me while I straighten myself up. That's better. That's better. Right, how are you, everybody? We're just laughing. We're just laughing because, well, it's been like calamity court here this afternoon. That these two are making fun of me and taking the mickey as usual. But we're here, and that's all that matters. So good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Brew at 2. Now then, we've got lots of funny things for you this afternoon. So this is going to be a funny one, I think. Stay tuned. So, first of all, I would like to kick off by saying thank you, everybody, for your lovely birthday wishes. You might remember me saying last week it was my birthday yesterday. I was 21 plus VAT and another little bit as well. So quite a few of you sent me, apart from saying happy birthday last week, quite a few of you sent me emails as well, which was lovely. So thank you ever so much for that. So what did I do on my birthday? Well, nothing. I sat on the settee and I watched the television, and I didn't actually come to my desk, and I didn't actually work, and it was lovely. My mother and I took our cup of tea outside at just gone 2 o'clock, and I said, oh, it's a bit breezy, and she said, oh, it's fine, it's lovely, it's lovely. And then about 5 minutes in, I'm sat there going like this thinking, cold. She said, it's a bit cold, isn't it? So we scooted inside, put the television on, and we had a lovely afternoon doing nothing. We watched 2 very interesting programmes. One was about plastic surgery. I don't know whether you've seen that. I think it was on Channel 5 maybe, 4 or 5, something like that. And it was about celebrities that have had plastic surgery. Well worth a watch. Well worth a watch. And there was something else that we watched as well that was really funny, and I can't remember. Oh, Susan Calman in Blackpool. Have you seen that? It was on our boxy thing because 2 T-boys have watched all the series. So we watched that yesterday afternoon. It was very good. And if you can get that on whatever Channel 5's catch-up is, I would recommend it. Well worth a watch. So I thought I'd show you my birthday card that my darling father, T-boy had made for me. So are you ready? Now then, we've established, haven't we, that I'm quite partial to a little bit of Lego. Look at this. Look at this for a card. It's fully 3-dimensional. Look at that. All stuck on foam board. And this is me at the bottom. I thought it was quite a nice outfit, that. I was thinking of using that for my birthday cards, business cards. But it was very me. And then inside we get a message. But the best bit's on the back here. Look, this is T-boy. There you go. Oh, did you say you were in hospital there, Laura? Oh, you poor thing. She's on Ward 23 in Heartlands Hospital, Birmingham. Again. I bet they've got a bed for you in there, haven't they, Laura? Did they have one with your name above it? You'll get well soon. So that's my birthday card from T-boy. And then for tea, what do you think we had? I saved the box to show you. Now this is my very favouriteest cake ever, this. And we don't sort of bother making songs and dances after celebration events normally, but we usually have a cake. And when I was but a little girl, we had a market stall where I lived, and they used to sell these. I presume, I know there's a big, go on, which one is it? Is it Lions? There's a big Lions bakery on the outskirts of Barnsley. Is it in Darton? Yes. Darton, yes. Sort of at the other side to where we hailed from. And they make, I think, a lot of these different things. So I'm guessing that they were probably seconds from the Lions factory. And do you know, as a little kid, I had more than my fair share of these, and it's left me with a penchant for them, so that's all I'm saying. But I got to ration yourself, haven't you? Right, so that's that. Before we go any further, don't forget, everybody, good afternoon, everybody that's all putting your comments on. Make sure that you've hit the bell, you've liked it, you've liked the little like thing, and don't forget to tell everybody that they need to watch this channel. Sean's popped in to occupy his mind because he's waiting for some tests for colon cancer. Well, Sean, I sincerely hope that that all goes well and that comes back a negative. We'll send you some of that, shall we? And make sure that you're all right. It's a bugger, isn't it? It is. We know all about that, we do. Right, moving on swiftly onto some post that I've had this week. Now, we had a bit of a giggle, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago about some scam emails. Well, this is obviously genuine. This is genuine. This, I've had an email. It says, I've got a money transfer. You'll receive money transfer of $89.44. Go to official bank page. There you go. So we're in the money. We're in the money again. We're in the money again, folks. And then I got another one, which did concern me. It really concerned me, this. Poor Laura's got an infection. She's going to be blasted. She's going to be blasted with those IV meds. We're with you, Laura. So this apparently, are you listening to this, T-Boy in training?
Me?
Yes. I'm not quite sure what the gist of it is, but apparently somebody has had, they've been a victim of fraud and they've got a fraudulent transaction using their Bitcoin account. They've got no other information than that other than the internet address of the fraudulent user. A similar attempt was made when some other Bitcoins were stolen, and obviously without their consent. I shall furnish yourselves with the offending internet address as soon as the police have given consent, and I will then inform the police about the removal of funds from my account. And I will expect that they will be in touch. Are you shaking in your boots?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We shudder in here. And I am afraid I have no idea what Cleveland's is, but shall be researching your business myself in order to help the police with your enquiries. So when the na-na comes, the sirens, they're coming for me. Yes, that's it. But Jane Kelt and I, had a bit of a discussion about scams this week and all the endless ones that come and all the stuff that come to you from text, telephone, email, scam comments on YouTube. They come from all over the place. And yes, I'm going to put a fight up, Frosty, you're right. And it reminded me of a funny incident. Can you remember back in the day? You see, now all the phone calls that you get are about your BT whatchamacallit, broadband. Yeah, your BT broadband is going to be disconnected. And then there's that one about Microsoft Windows where they need to log on to your computer and do all the rest of it. And so it goes on. And with me, I get no further than, hello, madam, is this visit FYLDE COAST? And I always sound Welsh. And at that point, I say, not today, thank you, and put the phone down. That's it. That's the limit. If I can tell for a mile away that they're ringing from some international call centre, they've got no chance. But can you remember back in the day when we used to get endless telephone calls selling double glazing? I mean, they went on. He knows what I'm going to say. T-Boy knows just what I'm going to say. And back in the day, if you lovely people remember, they used to ring you up from proper call centres trying to flog double glazing when double glazing was a thing. Can you remember that?
You buy one.
You buy one and you get one free. Can you remember that advert? What? Go on, were it Safe Style? Safe Style UK. They were vile, them television adverts, weren't they? So this one particular, these two, they bait people that ring from call centres. When they get them on the phone, Kevin's current favourite trick is to say that he's recording it for police investigation, and they put the phone down like hot dinners. Anyway, this one particular day when this person rang trying to flog double glazing, T-Boy, deadpan. I mean, he is pan at best of times. Deadpan says, "Oh no, I'm sorry, that would be absolutely no use to us whatsoever." And obviously, person at the other side says, "Why? What's the matter?" And he said, "Well, I'm sorry, but I've bricked all the windows up." We were all like killing ourselves laughing. It just reminded me. Anyway, if you get any fraudulent anything, you can report it to Action Fraud, and Kevin's going to tell me what that text number is. In fact, I put it in my phone. I'm using it, aren't I? Go on, what's that text number, Kevin?
Oh, I can get.
Have you not put it in your phone?
I've no idea.
Oh,
Is it in mine?
I'll put it in the comments underneath. If you get spam emails and texts, you can send them. You can forward them on to Action Fraud, and then they can do something about it. So I'll put the links in the description below, and then you know what to do when we've finished. It's getting mad with me now. So, but I did get one. Yeah, car accident when you've not got a car. That's another one. There is a new one apparently going round about digital COVID passports. I've had an email this morning from the policey people saying that there's a new one, so be on your guard. Anything to do with COVID, passports, jabs, viruses, bugs, beasts, anything like that, so just be careful. Right, anyway, on a completely different subject, but another little bit of my news, I thought I'd just share this little story with you. I thought it might amuse you for a Tuesday afternoon. Regular viewers, I've not got my bandage up here. I must have left it downstairs. But regular viewers will know that I've got a poorly wrist, and it's that poorly. My wrists are a lot paler than the other one. And last week I told you that I'd got clergyman's knee, which apparently is a bursitis from that little cartilage thing on your kneecap. So that's swollen like a plum. And I've got various other issues, and every time I come in I've got blisters all over my feet and all the rest of it. So I've come up with an idea. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Are you ready? I think for my vlogging expeditions, I think I need a mobility scooter. Yes, that's right, folks. I can just see me zipping round the FYLDE coast on a mobility scooter with my camera gear fastened to the handlebars at the front, beep 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 beep, tramming round at 90 miles an hour. Just imagine how much ground I could cover. It would be marvellous, absolutely marvellous. What do you think, Kevin?
I'm just printing an L plate off.
It's printing me L plates off. The beauty of it is that I could put, yes, the Spirit of Cleveland, we could call it, we could give it a name, couldn't we? I could put it in the boot of the car and then go to St Anne's, and then, you know, do the do. I think it's a splendid idea. And I mean, let's put it this way. It would be, yeah, Irene says we could start a mobility club, and it would be multifunctional because Chrissy and Derek could use it as well, as long as they didn't bust it. And Kevin probably would reinvent it take it to bits, put it all back together again and use it for carrying parcels. So, oh, he says, oh, win-win, win-win idea that. I'll keep you posted. I've been looking them up. We could have a just start dancing, Jane. I think I'd fall to bits if I did. My heart's in the right place. Funny story from Sean. A friend of his got a call from the postal service last week saying that they are no longer delivering post and parcels due to his aggressive chicken. Only in Ireland. That's a good one, isn't it? Yes, I could put a horn on the front frosty. I think that's a good idea, though. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, and Brew says that someone in Paisley used to do tours with them. You see, we're ahead of the curve, and it's completely environmentally friendly, low energy, fabulous idea. Right, a little bit later this afternoon, we've got a little bit of a wasn't me honest gov moment. I thought we'd kind of wake up to it, but we've got some entries into the challenge I set you last week about the railings in Cleveland, and I'm telling you this much. Pearlers. I'm well, yes, so funny, but we'll come on to that in a minute. But first, as they say on the television, comments off our thanks Alan Anne. Thanks Anne. Yes, it's a dress. I have had it on before. Perhaps you've not seen me in it. It's a Sainsbury's special. We have a clothes department in our big Sainsbury's in Blackpool, and get some right nice stuff, right cheap, especially when you're putting weight on in all directions. Right, I did a video last week about is it buffering, Irene? That's bad. And I'm on our super fast broadband at that.
I'll be Derek looking at trains.
And what are you looking at? Are you downloading something? Because if you are, just stop it.
On trains again.
I don't know.
No.
I can always tell when he's browsing the internet because it goes deathly quiet. And I said, what are you reading?
I'm busy.
Right, so last week I went to the new sports bar that's opening in the old Pizza Hut in Cleveland. So Eric says, just think in 2 months I can sit in there with T-Boy in training and watch him surfing and hanging 10. This is Eric, not Kevin. Catching the waves and leaping with this surfboard over Mary's Shell and landing on top of the ogre.
That's a bit ambitious.
And yeah, and Kevin says it's ambitious, and Eric says hanging 10 toes over the edge of the bed is about all I'm over in real life, but what the heck? There you go, so that's that one. And you might also remember as well, last week we were talking about it being warm. It was really quite warm. And somebody put a comment on that it was, I think, 35 degrees in Canada, which we all sort of went, imagine that. And then after that, I think it was the day after, it was on the news in Britain that there'd been an unprecedented heat wave, and apparently it reached 49.5, and that's the highest ever for a third day. Never before recorded temperatures above 45 degrees C, and there have been more than 130 sudden deaths. Goodness me, that must be awful. So we also last week talked about Sinfonia record shop, which I think was in Cleveland, was it not? And a couple of you remembered Sinfonia and said it was a blast from the past, and sent me some comments. David Bryson left a comment underneath on the Brew at 2 that it was the go-to record shop for anyone who was into music growing up in the 70s. And it was run apparently by a guy called Sandy, who was a really nice guy who had an encyclopedic knowledge of any music genre. And his shop was a great meeting place. I'm having trouble with my teeth again, aren't I? His shop was a great meeting place for everyone and a wonderful music education for all. Fantastic guy. Be interesting to know what whether anybody knows about Sandy and where he might have ended up. Anyway, Kat also sent in a comment. She says, "What a blast from the past. I remember it well and used to spend all my money in there as a teenager. It was run by Sandy Mountain, and yes, that was his real name, but she can't remember his sister. I vividly remember the shop. It was crammed from floor to ceiling with records, and he could order you anything. And she's too young to remember the Lindsay DePaul tune that we were talking about last week, but remembers queuing up outside to get David Bowie's Ashes to Ashes. Now that was a loss to humanity, wasn't it, when David Bowie shuffled off this mortal coil. And it came with different sets of stamps. All her spending money went on them, you see. There you go. Yes. And then yesterday, Roy Horton left a comment on a video we did a couple of weeks ago now at Bonny Street Market. And he started off by saying, any visitors, please be careful in Bonny Street Market because there are known to be pickpockets who love crowds and groups of people listening to a market trader selling his merchandise. And I observed that that's true of any busy area, because I mean I can remember us getting hustled in me and our Chrissy in Meadowhall. Must be 25 years ago. We were queuing in Thornton's to pay for sweets, and there were some young girls at the back of us, and there were fair sort of boxing us in, and you could tell what they were up to. So I always hold on to my bag tightly. But it got us onto the subject of selling off on the market. Now, can you remember that when you used to go to the old-fashioned markets, and the people that were selling crockery used to do what they called selling off? And there was a guy on Barnsley Market, and he was a really nice bloke, and he always used to wear long diamante earrings. They were, you know, sort of paste costume jewellery. So he'd have these long diamante earrings on, and he'd stand there with all these pots and bowls and things all the way down his arm, and then he'd chuck them all in the air and catch them and start stacking them up and rolling them along his arm and doing. And he used to put a right show on. Can you remember that, Kevin?
What?
That guy on Barnsley Market that used to sell pots off, and he used to
juggle
them like that.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Don't forget towels.
Yeah, then the towels. Yes, I was coming on to that in a minute.
Joe Edwards.
I think Joe Edwards might have been a bit before my time. So he used to do all this sort of act, and he'd stand there and say, "This tea set, not today. It's not $25.99 today. It's not $24.99 today." And this went on and on and on and on and on until you got to the proper price. And then there was another woman called Mary who used to sell sheets and bedding and things like that. Well, my mum and my grandma used to go to Barnsley every week. It was massive, Barnsley Market, much, much bigger than Fleetwood. And they used to go to Barnsley every week, and they used to stand and watch Mary selling off. And she used to, I mean, they both had a thing for towels and bedding. We've still got towels in our cupboard downstairs from when she used to buy them from Mary in the 1970s, and they are the most lurid colours. You've never seen anything like them in your life. In fact, next week I'll get one out and show you. And they used to stand watching Mary selling off, and if everybody didn't buy what she wanted them to buy, she used to get really mad. She used to get in enough and say, "Right, that's it, I'm not doing anymore." And she used to pack it all up and shove them all off. Those were the days, weren't they? I used to like watching selling off. Right, so that was that. I don't think we've got any birthdays this week, only mine last week. But if you would like a shout out for your birthday, don't forget to send me an email, jane@therabbitpatch.co.uk, and that's in the description underneath the video. and we will give you a shout out, and we will there you go, Senga's saying the same. She used to go to Barnsley Market and her mum used to come home laden up in towels and bedding and all the stuff. I think it was a thing back then, weren't it, Senga? I think they all had that sort of thing for, and the stripy flannelette sheets, can you remember them? In the candy cotton colours. I don't know. We've lived, haven't we? We've lived, we've seen it all. Right, so that was that. There was something else I was going to say to you. Oh yes, that was it. Two things. Obviously, you lovely 100 and odd people are all watching with us live, because you are bats. You are as bats as I am, and a lot of you have actually got your names on the bat map. I'll show you the bat map if you're watching this for the first time. This is the bat map where everybody goes who has a brew at 2 cup. But loads of people, yes, mad bats, David. Loads of people also watch on replay, because obviously it's nice. Excuse me, I seem to have got hiccups. It's nice to watch it live and kind of be in the moment, be part of what's happening. But if you've missed it, you know, catch up's good. Catch up's good. So why don't you, if you're watching this on replay, put a comment underneath about where you're watching from in the replay family, because we've got a regular gang of people that watch live. So you're all very welcome to put where you're watching from, and please don't test me, please don't examine me, because you know what my memory's like, it's like a sieve. And we'll see where we're all from, because I think we probably cover a much bigger area than we do on that map. So I have a little joke for you before we move on. Are you ready? In fact, I have a couple of jokes. We have some jokes from the proponent of jokes, Warrington, Northern Ireland. That is our lovely friend Elaine. I have some jokes of hers, and there you go. This one is from Terry Burkett. And this is us, is it not, bats? Good friends are like a bra, close to your heart, and there for support. There you go. That's us. We're the bats. And while we're here, we'll do one or two of Elaine's, because I think once we get onto the subject of railings, that'll be it, we'll be lost. Don't let them take your temperature on your forehead when you go into the supermarket, because it erases your memory. I went for macaroni and cheese and came back with 2 cases of beer. Just a minute, I need my sound effect machine. They say every piece of chocolate that you eat shortens your life by 2 minutes, and I've done the maths. It would seem that I died in 1837. And this one is on the list of jokes, but seriously, I could really do with one of these. Are you ready? I got myself a senior's GPS. Not only does it tell me how to get to my destination, it also tells me what I wanted when I get there. Round of applause for that one. Oh, dear me. Right, we'll save the rest of those treats for next time. Right, we're on to poetry now. Where's my poetry gone? Let me find my poetry. Right, anybody that is watching this on catch up or wasn't with us last week or whatever, this is snigger time, this, because in Cleveland's we have a problem with some barriers. Now, you might have seen these on a video that I've done recently, and these barriers are right against, you can just see the clock here, the clock shelter at the end of the high street on Victoria Road West. So this is the, I'm wobbling, aren't I? This is the shopping street. Yeah, I'm telling you it right way. This is the shopping street as you go straight down from the sea. So the sea's at the back of you here. So these barriers have been like that for an eternity. It's well over a year. So we're been at a bit of a loss to know what to do about getting it repaired. So I thought, my bats, you all are so creative. You're so good at writing poetry. I bet you could write some right natty verses about the plight of this plastic barrier. So I have some perlers to share with you. Are you all sitting comfortably? Eric's buffering. What are you looking at on the internet, Derek?
I'm not doing anything.
I thought it was. That's it. We're back on. You need to stop it with those videos
nothing.
of trains.
I'm doing nothing.
It's not me. It's not me.
Do your mother.
Are you ready? So Jane has actually recited her poem. So I'm going to play this for you. Are you ready? You ready? Let's put the volume back on, and then we can make sure that you can hear it. This is from Jane.
Wow. Who is responsible for the fence of indecision in Cleveland's? They need to tear down their own barriers first. It seems as the more time goes by, the more barriers are made. 18 months of cognitive indecision based on their own emotional fences. The responsibility lies with pedestrians. Does life have a plastic price tag? What happened to the original fence? Impenetrable barrier on both sides doesn't make life safe.
Perfect, Jane. Like that one. Like that one. So that's number one. Second one came from Howard Bentley. Are you ready? This is a short, nifty one, this one. Crash bang wallop, the barrier took a hit, but we're on the case and we'll fix it with a load of special kit. Plastic glue, whatever, we'll get it back to new. But please cross your fingers, cause frankly, we don't have a clue. Round of applause for Howard. Now Jane really enjoyed this challenge, and we had a waxing lyrical. That's something. She's spelled like me, plain Jane, but she's obviously got a far more creative streak than I have when it comes to creative writing, because I am dead from there when it comes to writing poetry, which is why I set you lovely people on. So she also did another one where she wanted to make it fit to the word Cleveland, so that the lines of the poem fit. Are you ready? Cleveland has a missing fence. Lagging behind is a new fixture. 18 months is a cause of offence. Victory for Cleveland when it receives its new feature. Eager we are to see its return. Long awaited promises to be resolved. Expectation of a problem yet to be solved. Yearning for the return of a promenade fence. Secure will feel when in its presence. I like that one. I like that one. And then there's another one here that Jane's done about yes, Shakespeare would be peeing himself right now, Frosty. Are you ready? This is Jane's, and this is about bowling pins. Like 10 pins, we're ready to tumble. Sorry about that, Jane. Chop the top of the words off a little bit. Like 10 pins, we're ready to tumble. Plastic cable ties are no defence. We're ready to tumble, and tumble we shall. Our stand is temporary, our safety is pretence. Like 10 pins, Cleveland's orange eyesores are ready to tumble. Our moulded plastic barriers are ready to tumble. There you go, another good one. Right, John Hay, which I'm sure you all know who we mean, has sent a good one in as well. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you sitting comfortably? Aye, that plastic railing, I'm sure it doesn't match. It looks like it has come from a different sort of batch. It's tied with plastic cable ties that don't look very strong. Not safe to be tied round railings when round cables they belong. Why do we have to wait so long for a railing to be mended? It's been like this for many months. Surely the table talks have ended. So please can you fix our railing and settle it quite soon? As for the people residing in Cleveland's, they'll surely be over the moon. While we're on this subject, please can the railings be painted? As looking at their condition, they're looking antiquated.
Very good.
And he's put underneath, just hope the council sees the funny side. Frankly, John, I'm past the point to caring. We like that one. And this one, now then, I need to just play this little soundtrack first, because I had to check on this one, because I knew the tune, but I didn't quite. This is from Eric, this one. Are you ready? So you need to sing it along to this, and I'm not going to sing it. I really don't want to make your ears bleed, people. Are you ready? But this is.
An old cowboy went riding out one dark and windy day.
It's to this tune.
On a ridge he rested as he went along his way.
I'm not playing more than that because I'll get a strike off YouTube for playing copyrighted music. So it's to the tune of Ghost Railings in the Sky. Are you ready? Are you ready? A souped-up boy racer was speeding out one day. The roundabout in Cleveland's, it came upon his way. Racing round the clock shelter, North Promenade he saw. Put pedal to the metal and those railings were no more. Yippee-yi-yi, yippee-yi-oo, Ghost Railings in the Sky. The fancy car was totaled. It had smashed right through the steel. A gaping hole was left and authorities started to squeal. In County Hall, the fear went through the officer's weak spine. So the bill for work said, responsibility ain't mine. His face was gaunt, his laptop word, an email must be sent. The local council found the bill and a meeting underwent. They took the petty cash and solved the problem in a trice. They bought a sticking plaster, a barrier device. The months they passed and local people called out for redress. The flimsy zip-tied barrier was collapsing in distress. Both local and county councils passed the buck again, and now they're in a standoff and the stalemate is insane.
Brilliant.
Well done!
Brilliant.
Well done, all of you. They are priceless. Now then, I said to my friend Brenda, Brenda, are you there? Are you there, Brenda? Oh God! Look what I've just found in my cup.
What's in your cup?
T-Boy's trying to poison me.
What's in?
Teabag.
Take it on.
You haven't, is it? Look.
Save it for later.
Can you hear him? He says, save it for later. I ask you. I
Sorry.
tell you, you've never lived until you've been on one of our live broadcasts, have you? Let me just move this. Oh, I don't know. The things you have to put up with. There's no wonder it tasted strong.
Sorry.
Thought it was a dead fly.
Sack me.
So, they are priceless. I said to Brenda on Friday when I spoke to her, I said, you must watch Brew at 2. It's going to be so funny. The poems are starting to come in, and I've already had quite a few, and they're priceless. What was in my drink? It was the tea bag. I tell you, he's trying to poison me. He's trying. T-Boy in training don't know where kettle is, David. That's why it's called T-Boy in training. I think they are beyond good. So, what are we going to do next? Well, we have a Facebook group called Care for Cleveland's, where we share all the stuff that we're doing on an ongoing basis and do, you know, the volunteering events and whatnot. In fact, we've actually got a clean-up session next week. Hi Keith. Was that not good? Was that not good? So we're going to put a selection of the poems on our Care for Cleveland's Facebook group and tag the council. And I'm also as well going to print them out and stick them on the fence. Watch this space. Let's see how fast it gets mended. So it's the 6th of July when we're discussing this. Let's see how quickly they manage to get it done. We know how to live, don't we? Right, so that's that then. But seriously, all joking apart, thank you ever so much everybody, because they are really good. And you know what we always say on Brew at 2? If you're going to solve a problem, always best to try and solve it with humour. Rather than, you get a lot further with the carrot than you do with the stick, don't you folks? And if anybody gets into trouble, don't worry, poets, collectively. If anybody gets into trouble, it will be me. I do have a very broad back and, dare I say it, possibly 1 or 2 nerves already stuck in it. But nonetheless, it's all part of life's rich tapestry. Right. You know what we're doing now, don't you? Now that we've done that little bit of, oh, that tea were awful. Ooh, and I got down to the bottom. Right, so we're going to do the grand finale next. So it's time, folks. Drum roll and fanfare for the sourometer. Are you ready? So, what are you tinging at? Last week we did sour smog balls and I've lost the packet. Would you believe I've lost the packet? So I've printed the packet out so that I've got something to stick onto the sourometer. So you might remember that when I'd tried 1 or 2 and pulled my best Drinkly face, I said I would try 1 or 2 other ones, and they were awful. I didn't like them at all. I thought the middle of them was really quite nasty. So I said to Chrissy, my darling mother, would you like to try these? Because I've got a feeling that you might actually think that they're palatable. So I said, just watch your teeth though, because in fact I've still got, look, the blood blister from last week, from when I was whacking it with the letter opener and trying to get into it, and I missed and hit my finger. So I said to her, I think you might actually like these, but just watch your teeth because I'm not paying your dentist bill. So she tried one, got into the middle, chewed it. They're quite nice there. Oh dear me, because I really didn't like them at all. In fact, I'm going to put them, just a minute, we need a pin. We need a pin. I'm going to put them right down at the bottom with the toxic waste. Don't think they were quite as bad as sour apples, but they were definitely bad. They were definitely nasty. They definitely need to go down there. I didn't enjoy them at all, I'll be honest. Anyway, you might remember that last week I promised, foolishly, I promised that I would do these disgusting things from Jane. These in Jane's lovely shiny envelope. So Jane said the brown ones are known as hot and sour zombie bombs. I'm not looking forward to this. You can see I've not opened them. I do have a glass of pop here in my rather tatty cup. Do you know, I've had this cup it's about 10 years, and it's only a cheap plastic one. And it's brilliant because it takes a lot of pop. Right, she tried to buy some Mr. Sims death pips or the Black Plague whilst on holiday in Leek. Hold on. I saved you the agony because they were out of stock. Thank goodness for that. Goodness me. I don't know the things we do for entertainment. So you can see I've not opened them. And I have a feeling these might be chilly and sour. I think I might be. I've got an empty glass. I think I might be spitting this out. Can you see me wrinkling my lip already? Right, so that's the tag off. I'll get my empty cup ready. I don't really smell of anything very much at all. I bet you're all sat on the edge of your chair, aren't you, waiting for me to gip? What would you do if I was sick and it projected straight on? I bet that'd go viral. Ooh, looking forward to this. You ready? Are you ready? Oh, I've got some Fisherman's Friends. Do you want them, Russ? I've got some of them. Are you ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Oh, Jesus, that's awful. Oh, God almighty. What on earth is these, Dave? Oh! Oh, goodness me. Oh. Oh, goodness. Oh. I don't even, oh, that is awful. Oh, Jane, off. Oh, did you try? Now I can feel spit running down my face. Yeah, Frosty, that were like a bush took a trial. That were disgusting. Oh, they're awful. How on earth? Oh, how on earth do you eat them? Mm.
Not on camera.
Oh, that's made my eyes run. It's made me go boiling. I feel actually like I could do with dangling my tongue in this cup. Mm. If you weren't watching me, I think I'd have rinsed my mouth out with this pot and spit it out. That was awful. What the hell's in him? Look. It looks exactly like it. Oh, it's got to be chilly. It's so hot. Oh, my poor mouth. It's not making me any quieter, as you can see. Oh, dear me. I think when we finish, I think I'm going to have an ice pop and see if I can put the fire out. Does anybody want these? I'll send them to you. There's another 5. That is way down bottom. That is awful. I'm not surprised I'm bright red. Oh, God. If anybody religious is watching, I'm sorry I'm blaspheming, but it's a better alternative to what I could have said, believe me. Oh! I could win a gaining contest, couldn't I? Put that back in there. Oh, they were absolutely... I honestly, trust me, I am not putting that on. They are awful. My mouth's on fire. Oh, in fact...
Got some ice cubes.
No, it's alright, I've got some... I'm going to have... I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm going to have a little square of chewing gum. Let's see if I can... Oh. See if I can take some taste off while I do this. Oh. Chuck it in the bin. It's in the cup. I've already spat it out. Goodness me. Right, are you ready? And on that note, it's time. Smiling is infectious. You'll catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I passed around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I passed it on to him. I thought about that smile, then realised it's worth. A single smile just like mine could travel round the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic, quick, and get the world infected. See you next week. Bye.